What up, guys? Welcome to episode 3. We're now on every podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
The link's in our bio. Go ahead and swipe up to subscribe.
Make sure to hit the bell.
So what we got today, man?
You already know, BTK.
BTK and some bebitas.
Always.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So what's up with Mr. BTK?
He's a bitch.
Dude, he looks like a nice guy.
Yeah, but...
Like,
I mean...
I definitely would have,
Been a Boy Scout because of him?
No.
He was a Boy Scout leader.
Well, it's always who you least expect, I guess.
Always.
I don't know. He doesn't seem the type. He looks like a trustworthy man.
He was.
Like, I don't know. I'd ask him for some,
He was.
advice, I feel.
He was his son's Boy Scout troops leader. He was also the president at his church.
Wait, the church had a president?
Yeah.
Who was a VP?
Well,
Scranton Strangler. Yeah.
yeah.
All jokes aside, though.
I'm Mr. Blades. Here with my cousin,
Ozzy.
Osborne. Just kidding.
I get copywritten.
Yeah. Yeah, we got BTK today. BTK was Dennis Rader. He actually named himself BTK, which stands for Bind, Torture, Kill. Or bind them, torture them, kill them. He sent a letter to PD and to the news station saying that from now on to call him BTK. So he gave himself the name, the nickname.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Mr. Dennis Rader was born in 1945. He's 75 at this time. He was born in Pittsburgh, Kansas. And he is responsible for killing 10 people in Park City and Wichita, Kansas.
Damn.
Yeah. He served in the United States Air Force.
I'm telling you, the guy looks like a trustworthy guy, man. Like, I would never think that he's a killer.
Yep. He served in the military for 4 years. And he got married in 1971. He had 2 children. And he was a member of the Christ Lutheran Church. He was elected president of the church council. And he was also a scout leader, like we said before.
So, real stand-up guy, huh?
Yep.
Straight arrow on the surface.
So this dude was a serial killer. Obviously no one expected him to be, since he was, pretty well liked by everyone, involved in his community, military man, ex-military man, and he decided to kill.
I mean, I guess sometimes you just... I don't know, man. I guess some people are born like that, right?
I mean, there's so many serial killers.
But they all seem to be normal people.
And really
nice people.
Really intelligent people.
Yeah.
Which is the crazy part. Today's episode is unofficially brought to you by Maker's Mark.
Oh, yeah.
So, on January 15th, 1974, Rader killed for the first time. He entered the Otero family's house, expecting only Miss Otero and the daughter to be home. He wasn't expecting Mr. Otero and the son, Joseph Otero Jr., to be home. And this was probably his most fucked up killing, because it involved 2 kids.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy to me, man, is watching his trial unfold and everything like that. He was just so calm and collected, talking about killing these
Yeah,
children.
he was talking about it like if everyone does this.
Yeah, like, you know, it's
like
just
it's normal.
regular barbecue talk. You know what I mean?
But yeah, he
Like,
entered the Otero family's house, expecting only the wife and daughter.
yeah, I mean, I remember seeing that when he kind of got there, because he would scope out these places.
Yeah, he would keep a lookout. He would watch you for a few days.
Yeah, he would stalk people.
And that's when he would stalk you for a little bit outside your house, and then once he saw like around what time you got there, what time you leave,
patterns.
Yeah, once he noticed your patterns, and he noticed, there's no men involved, so make it easier for him. Then that's when he would decide to make his move.
Yeah, I mean, I remember he stated that in this particular murder that he did, like you said, he wasn't expecting the dad and the little boy to be there, but he said he pretty much just improvised. He's like, well, we're already here, fuck it, I guess they're all gonna die.
Yeah, he did. And he was never violent off the bat. He would talk to him like, you know what, I have a sexual problem, I have a sex problem, and I need to tie you up, and I need to do things to you, which is just fucking sick.
Yeah, he would always be carrying a gun and everything like that. So,
and you know what, he carried a gun just as a backup. That wasn't like his first thing right off the bat. Like,
yeah, I think he only killed with his gun once. It was like in a panic.
Yeah. No,
in that particular case, I think.
No, he pulled his gun, I think, twice only. He didn't use his gun. He never killed anyone with a gun. But I think he only had to pull out the gun twice, which was with the Otero family, and then another time. So, yeah, BTK, Dennis Rader, is responsible for 10 murders that we know of, that he's confessed to. There may be more. Law enforcement believes there could be more because they had a lot of unsolved murders fitting his MO in that area in between, those years. So when he entered the Otero family's house, like we said, he wasn't expecting the father and the 15-year-old son to be home. Sorry, not 15-year-old. Can't remember how old he was. He was 9. And then the daughter, Josephine Otero, she was 11. He wasn't expecting them to be home. He was expecting just the wife and the daughter to be home. So he had to improvise, like you said, once he went in. And I mean, he was so controlling to the point where the dog wouldn't shut up that he had Mr. Otero take the dog outside to let him do his thing comfortably. And like I said, I think that the Otero killings were the most fucked up ones because he placed a plastic bag over all of their heads to suffocate them.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying that in evidence they saw the little boy, basically with plastic bags over his head, and they saw a chair propped up in front of the body. So this guy was definitely like just sitting there watching this little boy die.
Yeah, I mean, and another thing is when he was in school, when he was a kid in school, his teacher made fun of him in class, and he got really upset about that. That he followed her home, and I can't remember how old he was. I don't think it states anywhere how old he was at this time. I'm pretty sure it had to have been high school or middle school, but he followed his teacher home, who made fun of him in front of everyone. At night, he watched her through the window. He tied a rope around his waist really tight and masturbated to her. And I guess that's when he linked in his mind, rope, climaxing, and from there on, he just became sick in the fucking head. But yeah, he put a plastic bag over the Otero's head. The Joseph Jr. Otero got loose. He had to put the plastic bag over him again, Mr. Otero loosened his bindings, so he had to tie him back up again. Josephine Otero got loose and ran, caught up to her, the 11-year-old daughter, caught up to her, took her to the basement where we're not going to tell you about the details on that. You can look that up on your own. And yeah, that was in 1974. And
that's what started his killing spree.
Yeah. And then 3 months later, he killed a 21-year-old female, Catherine Bright. Her cause of death was stab wounds to the abdomen. And like the first ones, he was stalking her for a while. And he had these things called kill kits, where he had like a little go bag with rope, his knives, guns, tape, and he killed her by stabbing her in the abdomen 3 times. And then after that, 3 years later after that, he killed Shirley Relford, who was 24. And he killed her. He strangled her with a rope. So, and I mean the whole time the cops were trying to solve the Otero ones. I mean there was four. And another thing with the Oteros, the 15-year-old son came home from school and found his family dead. And as soon as he went in the house, he noticed something was not right. Went into his parents' bedroom where he saw his dad on the floor, his mom on the bed, motionless, and saw his little brother in the other room dead. He didn't see his little sister, Josephine Otero, the 11-year-old, dead, but that's because she was in the basement. So when he saw them 3, he took off to the neighbors, told them, call 911. And there's actually an interview where the 15-year-old son who found his family dead actually did an interview. So we'll link all that stuff to YouTube for you guys to check out. And so yeah, after Shirley Relford in 1977, in December of that same year, he killed Nancy Fox. And he strangled her too with a belt. And I think he, for that one, the Nancy Joe Fox case, he left a note on that at that scene, or he wrote something on the wall at that scene. There was a song back in the 70s that it had something to do with her name. I can't remember exactly what the song was, but he wrote he wrote a letter, and it was titled "Oh Death to Nancy," which he was mimicking a song called "Oh Death." I can't remember the artist of that song, but
no, he was pretty twisted, man. He would send for years because he did this for years, and no one had a clue where to even start looking for this guy. But I mean, he was twisted. He would send different things to police, to the news. At one point with the Otero family, he sent in a Barbie doll with a noose.
Yep.
Tied up and like a piece of PVC pipe,
because Josephine was hanging from a pipe. In the basement.
He hung her from the pipe in the basement. So he was just taunting police. Thought he was gonna get away with it. I mean, and he probably would have had he not been so cocky about it.
He would have gone away, and that's another thing. He was really cocky from the get-go. Since the first killings. He'd send letters to the news and to the police station,
which is why he became the BTK killer, because he named himself.
Yeah, and the letters to the news station. How
controlling he was. Yeah, he wanted to control everything.
And actually, the Nancy Fox case, he called that killing in himself. And there's actually audio. Yeah. You guys can look it up. There's audio of him calling in the murder.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's crazy that he would even go as far as to like, and so calm. Like I heard when we heard the recording from that 911 call, he was just a calm dude, like on the phone, like, hey,
Report a
I want to
murder.
report a murder.
Gave the
Give the
address.
address, everything, calm.
Hmm. And he would leave letters in the public library in engineering book.
Hmm.
And actually, one of the letters stayed there for many years. I think like 15 or 20 years, where no one went and actually looked for it in an engineering book. So that means no one checked out that book for that long. And there was a letter of him taunting, PD on how they can't catch him. And I mean, it's crazy because Wichita, Kansas, the population is like 500,000
At the
So
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a little.
Yeah, it's a small community. I mean, no one would have ever thought
Yeah.
that something like that was gonna happen in their community and everything like that, which was the most unsettling part. It's a nice, quiet place.
Yeah. And around 1977, with the Catherine Bright and Cheryl Relford and Nancy Fox murders, he was a troop leader for his son's scouts troop.
Yeah, he had 2 kids, man. Like this dude, if you saw him, just an average dude with a, nice little family. He's just living the dream out there, man. And little does anyone know, he's a murdered. Like when he got caught and the FBI came to his daughter's house and, it basically told her, hey, we caught BTK. And she's like, oh, that's cool. Like, why are you here?
Why the fuck are you here? Well,
like,
it's your father.
It's your dad. And fuck,
Yeah. So at the time when he was his son's Boy Scout troop leader, he would leave the camp where they were camping at to go take these really fucking nasty pictures. He would tie himself up with rope, hang himself from trees in women's lingerie. He would put on a female mask on, and he would take pictures. And he would even dig graves and lay down in them, dressed in women's underwear, bras.
No, this guy was twisted.
This dude was fucked up in the head.
Like, why? Like, how do you get into that state of mind?
Yeah. So after the Nancy Fox murder, about 8 years later, in 1985, he killed again. He killed Maureen Hedge, 53-year-old female. He strangled her with his hands. And a year after that, he killed again. He killed Vicky Wedgerly. Wegerly? I don't know. That's a weird last name. She's 28. He strangled her with nylon stockings. And then in 1991, he killed his last known murder was Dolores Davis. She was a 62-year-old female. She was actually part of his church, something like that. And he killed her with her pantyhose. And what's fucked up about her is that he took her to the church where he was the president of the church at.
Yeah.
After he killed her, he propped her up in one of the rooms in the church and just took sick pictures of her dead body, like in different poses. And he dumped her body on the side of a road in a ditch. And I think eight days later, they found her body, which was already badly decomposing.
Damn.
Yeah. So, yeah, this dude was sick. He was fucked up in the head. So in 2005, he contacted PD and asked him if he can send him something through a floppy disk. And he asked them that if there was any way they could, track him with a floppy disk. And, law enforcement said no. And, IP addresses get saved on anything they use a computer on. When you save anything, send anything.
Yeah, everything's got a digital fingerprint nowadays.
So, PD said no. It's a floppy disk. It's 2005. Who the fuck uses floppy disk in 2005, you know? So he said, all right, cool. You know, he believed them. Send them. I don't know exactly what was on the floppy disks, but he sent them a floppy disk. And obviously, PD tricked them. The police department tricked them. And when they got the floppy disk, they put in a computer, saw the IP address, and they came back to a Lutheran church. And what's fucking stupid, which was, I mean, it's a good thing that he got caught, but it's stupid of him that he saved everything under, you know, on the floppy disk through his account, which saved his name on, you know, digitally encrypted his name on the floppy disk. So PD had a name where he's made the floppy disk, the data saved on the floppy disk, and they followed him, and on the side of the road they pulled him over, and that's how he got caught in 2005.
Telling you, man, he was too cocky from the get-go.
Yep.
Taunting the cops and whatnot. They eventually caught up to him. You know what? I actually feel, man, like with all these serial killers, and like you mentioned, there's like all these serial killers always have like the same, like they're intelligent people, this and that. Like I almost feel like they always want to get caught, and it's not because like they want to stop the murders. It's more of a control thing. Like they want to exert their control so much, and it's like an ego thing too. Like they want to get credit for their quote unquote work.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean.
And now
like,
that you say that,
it's crazy.
Police arrested a dude from one of his murders, and it really, really bothered him that someone else was getting arrested for it. That he sent a letter to PD and told them that they had the wrong guy, that it was him, BTK, who had killed that person, and he told them details of the murder that only the killer would have known, you know, like what the house looked like inside, how he killed them. Because you know, police don't put out exactly everything on the case. That way, you know, make sure they got the right person. You know, like, well, we can't talk about this.
Yeah, there are certain details that are left out for that same reason.
So Dennis Rader had details of the case that only the killer would know. So they let that guy go. So, I mean, that's how cocky he was, that he was pissed off that someone else was arrested for his crime.
Yeah. I mean, like I tell you, man, like these serial killers and stuff like that, it's like they are the biggest control freaks. You know what I mean? They want to make sure that they are the ones that get credit for the murders. They're the ones that want to be like this guy. I'm gonna tell you, like to write letters to the media to let them know this is what I want to be called. I want to be called.
I mean, yeah, he named himself.
You know what I mean? Like that's like beyond crazy to me.
Yep. Yeah, it's insane. But I mean, yeah, this dude was a control fucking freak. I mean, in a way, it kind of seems like, you know, I mean, he's taunting police. You know, like, here I am, but you can't catch me. You know? Yeah, catch me if you can't kind of thing.
Yeah, like, he would send random, like, that doll. Like, I mean, he would send evidence, man. Like, pictures. Like, it's fucking crazy. He would take Polaroids of people and himself. And, like, the guy was just weird, man.
Yep. It was insane. Sorry to interrupt the podcast, but we gotta do some commercials. There's a new barbecue food truck in town, Graceland Barbecue. You can follow them on Graceland Barbecue EP. That's Graceland BBQ _EP on Instagram. I've tried their food. Ozzy's tried their food. It fucking smacks. It's one of the newest barbecue spots in El Paso. Make sure to check them out on Instagram. You can order for catering. Just message them on Instagram, and they'll hook you up. They'll tell you the prices, whatever you want. You want pulled pork, you want burnt ends, you want brisket, whatever you want. These guys have a huge smoker. And make sure to follow them, Graceland Barbecue _EP on Instagram. And now we're back to the show again. So yeah, dude, like this dude, they actually in the Otero case, I'm not gonna get into details of how they had this DNA on that case, but you can look it up yourself. They saved all the DNA evidence, and once PD caught them, they compared evidence, and they were able to link all 10 murders back to him because of DNA, mostly because of DNA. And also he planed out. He admitted to everything in court. You guys, I'll link the video on YouTube.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
talked in detail about every single killing.
bro, this guy, like, the judge would ask him, hey, so where were you on this day? Like, calm, cool, collected, in detail, and he would, like,
yeah,
yes,
like
sir,
it was
no,
just a
sir, like,
regular
super
story.
polite. Like, at one point, I remember he says, about one of the victims that ran out of the house. He said, hey, when I heard the door, and I heard someone come in, I thought I was caught for sure.
That was the first. That was Otero. That was the 15-year-old son who came home from school.
Yeah, and caught him.
Yeah.
And he ran out. He was in the basement, and he's like, okay, this is it. He said,
I'm done.
I thought that I was done. He's like, I cleaned everything that I could clean as much as I could. I got out of there, and I mean, he got away. And he even went on to say during that statement, he said, you know what, if that kid wouldn't have left, he would have been dead too. And he's like, and I'm not trying to brag by any means. I'm not boasting. Yep. He said, I'm not boasting about that. It's just a matter of fact. Like, he already knew that he was going to kill that boy if he stayed in the house. Like, that's fucking crazy, bro. Like, the way that he just talks about everything that he did in detail, like, he's like, no, this is why I did this, and this is how I hid. Like, he was talking about hiding inside of the bathroom of one of the victims. Like,
yeah, and I think in three of the cases, he broke in and waited for the victim to come home. Then he popped up on them.
Yeah, like, he was hiding inside this lady's bathroom.
And he would cut the phone lines in every single house that he killed in.
Yeah.
So I mean, these people were. I mean, they had no chance.
I mean, yeah, he was a predator, man.
And then in court, he talked about Factor X, which he says that it's something he believes every serial killer is born with.
Right.
And that, it makes them want to kill. I mean, most serial killers, it's a sexual thing.
Yeah, that's what his thing was. Like, he wouldn't even tell people, like, hey, this is like, I have a sex thing. Like, this is for my sexual pleasure. It's my fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah, and he would have some of the victims. He would talk to them like, hey, after he would pop out on them like, hey, I got a problem. I need you. Let's go to the room. And that's when he would do his fucked up stuff and then end up fucking murdering them.
Yeah, like, these people never even thought that they were going to get murdered. Like, they thought, oh, okay, well, I mean, I'm here held at gunpoint. What other option do I have? I have to, like, basically comply with this guy. And, that's fucked up. It's more control. It's just him giving more control because he would lead them to believe that if they did everything he asked, he was basically going to let him go, or at least let him live. And he already had made up his mind. He knew he was going to kill these people.
Yeah. And in the court, the court hearing was all videotaped by the news. Yeah. And it's just so...
Yeah, again, the link's going to be on the bio. Swipe up.
During the court hearing, the judge would make him like... I mean, he wouldn't make him, but he would ask him to tell him...
Yeah, like, the judge was just like, hey, what did you do? Why? How?
And this dude even knew the addresses, the names to everyone he killed, home addresses.
I'm telling you, bro,
like in detail. Like,
the dude was, like, calm. Like, this dude was reciting a fucking essay to the judge. He was like, here's my notes. I got everything. We're good.
Yeah. So in 2005, when he got caught, the FBI showed up to his daughter's house. And They told him, the FBI told her, hey, we arrested BTK. And she was like, okay, and what the fuck? What are you doing? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
And that's when they told him, like, well, it's BTK is your father. And I believe she even passed out
Yeah. I
when
mean,
the FBI told her.
well, bro, imagine like someone comes to your house and they're just like, hey, you know that guy that's done all these fucked up killings and children and tortured people? Well, it's your dad. I mean, fuck, I'd pass out too.
And his daughter actually recalls the last killing that he did, the 62-year-old, Dolores Davis. She actually lived down the street from them, like 3 houses down. And she remembers around the time that she got killed that they would go for walks. And she believes that he would do that to stalk her. You know, all while being a father, hanging out with his daughter.
Wow. So he's taking his daughter on these little walks to like scope up new victims and whatnot.
Yeah, and they would even say hi to her. They would stop by, talk to her. And next thing you know, a few days later, he went and murdered her. Strangled her with her pantyhose. That's the one that he took pictures of at the church.
Yeah. And that's what I'm telling you, man. It's just like, it seems like this guy was just like control from the very beginning. It's all about control. He wants to control every situation. He wants to like, it's like knowing that, like, you know what I mean? Like he knew he was going to kill these people and it's just like still saying hello to them. Like they're so unsuspecting. Like this guy was twisted, man.
And I mean, this dude's ex-military, Boy Scout troop leader, president of his church, and I think he was working as a game warden or a park ranger. So I mean, you would never expect. It's always the people you don't expect to be the ones that fuck you over, you know?
Yeah, I mean the guy. I'm telling you, dude. You see pictures of this dude, and he's like a fun-loving guy. Like I legit would probably ask this dude for some advice on some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and his daughter actually said like, his daughter says, you know, he was a badass dad. He was always there.
He not an absent father. He was like, he was there with all his responsibilities were all there. He was a good, hardworking man, member of the church. Shit, he was the president of the church. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know, and that's what's scary. You never know.
Yeah, dude, you never know.
You never know who will fuck you over in the end.
It's like you're over here with you know, the pastor, and he's over here fucking chopping people up in the back. It's crazy.
I mean, it's a good thing they caught him. He fucked up. He could have gotten away with it.
He could have gotten away with it so fucking bad.
Could have gone away with it.
That is crazy to me how they had like no leads whatsoever.
Yep. Completely gone away with it. And I mean it's a good thing that they caught him. But in the end he got himself caught.
Yeah. And again, I'm telling you, dude, like to me, the way it played out and the way he was like talking and stuff like that, like the way that he would just do shit, I feel like he just wanted to get caught because he wanted recognition. Like he wanted to, like, even that was like another type of control. And like just basically telling the cops like, you caught me because I wanted you to catch me, not because you were smarter than me, not because you caught me. I wanted you to catch me.
And in the end, he got caught because the cops were smarter than him.
Yeah.
They lied to him, said, yeah, we can't track you down with a floppy disk. Sent it in. Guess what? Your name's on the fucking encrypted data.
Wasn't he using a computer from the church?
Yeah. That's how they knew where to go. And his name was connected to the computer.
Wow.
That's when they started, following him. They're like, okay, let's look up Dennis Rader. Okay, that's where he lives. Okay, start following him. And then finally, one day they're like, all right, we're pulling him over. He's like, let's do this. And there's a video, we'll link it too, of when he got arrested and his confession in the jail and being in custody. And he's like, fuck. You fucking caught me. But yeah, I mean, in court, he blames this shit on Factor X.
Yeah, I mean...
Which he says every killer is born with it. Every serial killer is born with it. And I mean...
yeah, that's another thing that, you know, experts have talked about is how self-aware this dude was. Like, he was so aware of the fact that he was different in the sense that he was capable of killing without feeling any kind of remorse and stuff like that, that he like researched things and he just wanted to learn more about himself as an individual in the sense of like from a killer perspective. Like, that's fucking crazy, bro.
I mean, it's a good thing that he got caught.
Yeah, definitely. Who knows how many people he would have killed if he...
And the other thing is, how many people did he really kill?
Yeah.
Is it really just the 10? If it was this easy to get away with it from what was it, from 1974 to 1991, and in 2005 when he got caught,
yeah, I mean,
he said he was getting ready to, you know, start doing it again,
and that's probably why he hit up the cops.
He did.
That's probably why he like, hey, what's up, guys? It's me, your boy.
He's like, hey, I'm back.
BTK, just checking in.
I'm still here.
You know, shout out to the
authorities that can't catch me.
Yep. You know, about to start this shit up again.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, this dude was just fucked up in the head. Really fucked up in the head.
I'll say.
But yeah, he got caught in 2005. I mean, and in the end, I mean, he fucked himself over in the end.
Yeah, he did.
Which is a good thing.
His ego got the best of him, bro.
Yep. And he actually pleaded guilty to all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I did it.
I'm telling you, man, like he just wanted
the attention, bro.
He's like, yeah. Like, I did it. Like, I need to be recognized for all this hard work that I did. Because, I mean, I'm telling you, man, that's how fucked up he was.
Yep. Yeah, now he's incarcerated at the El Dorado Correctional Facility in Kansas, serving 10 life sentences. So, I was reading recently that, I think it was this year or maybe 2 years ago, there was an uprising in that prison where inmates stormed everything. They burned sections of the jail down. I'm pretty sure Rader had nothing to do with it because he has to be in solitary confinement. He's not in general population.
The general population.
No.
I mean, imagine.
There's no way, bro.
Imagine what they would do to him.
He would have been dead the first year. I mean, look what happened to Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm pretty sure he had nothing to do with that. But yeah, a lot of inmates took over parts of the jail about 2 or 3 years ago. They burned parts of the buildings down. They even hurt some of the jailers. Can't really recall if some of them escaped, but yeah, he's serving 10 life sentences. Which, I mean, when it comes to, you know, the death penalty or serving, you know, your life sentence, I think as much as taxes we pay on keeping these inmates in, when it comes to dudes like this, like, it's better to just keep them in jail till they die, you know, for them to suffer, than just, you know, choosing the way out and getting getting death sentence and getting killed.
I don't know, man. I feel like people like that deserve a special kind of
treatment,
punishment,
a little torture here and there.
When it comes to like the way they serve their time, because if you really think about it, I mean, yeah, they're not out.
No, but I mean, they're not paying bills. They get fed 3 times a day.
They've got a roof over their heads. Yep. They've got a place to sleep. They've got 3 meals a day. They've got health care.
No bills to pay.
No bills. They're living rent free.
Yep.
And you know, he didn't give these people that opportunity. They didn't get to live out their lives. Yeah. You know, so I mean, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.
I mean,
I don't know. You guys you know, I don't know. I guess to each their own, but I don't know. I'm kind of interested to know what our viewers and listeners think about that? Like, what are your comments on how serial killers like this should be handled within our judicial system?
Yeah, like, do you prefer a death or life sentence?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, your life sentence. I mean, you're gonna be in jail till the day you die. But I mean, you're just chilling.
Yeah, basically you're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. And actually, when his wife found out, she got a lawyer and asked for immediate divorce.
I mean,
which is granted when shit like this happens. So
At that point.
they granted it, got divorced on the spot. His kids disowned him. His son's actually in the military.
Wow.
And his daughter, I think, was like a teacher's aide or something at the time. Can't remember exactly what she does now for a living. But she recently, a year or two ago, finally came out and talked. And there's a 4 or 5 part series on YouTube, and we'll link it, on how she grew up, how she found out her dad was BTK, how her life has been, how her life was growing up with him. And I mean, she says that he was the greatest dad you could ever ask for. And that's what's scary, is that you never know who to trust, and you never know what people are capable of. You know, people that you know, what they're capable of doing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the guy looks like a regular dude, normal guy. You know, nice dude. I mean, shit, he's like over here teaching Boy Scouts how to like
tie the knots that he used on these victims. Like,
Yeah.
that's just fucked up. Yeah. Actually, and then BTK, Dennis Rader, he worked with a Dr. Ramsland, because he wanted to uncover what was so dark in his mind, which he calls Factor X, that made him have these, tendencies. Yeah. And obviously,
I mean, there's got to be something in the brain that's
no matter how
there's got to be a medical explanation, because
yeah, but I mean, no matter how advanced we become in the medical field, we can never exactly know what every single person is thinking, going through, feeling. That, I mean, obviously science can't describe it. But yeah, I mean, this doctor, obviously, science can't prove nothing,
Yeah, no, not at all.
Except for, he's fucking psychotic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, there's got to be something going on.
Yeah, and it's what's crazy is that most serial killers are really intelligent people.
Mm-hmm.
Really intelligent people. And that's what makes them get away with it for so long.
Yeah.
And most of them end up getting themselves caught.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's like another control thing, because they're so smart.
They think
they're like, all right, like, now you can catch me. Like, they're telling the authorities, like, now I'm gonna let you put me in jail. Now I want recognition for everything that I did. Because for them, it's not even a punishment. It's like they want to be recognized for their.
So when they get caught, it's like a reward. Like, oh, we caught BTK. Yep, I'm BTK. Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you guys see the court here, the court hearing, it's just insane how relaxed and normal he's acting and talking about every single, and he remembers everything in detail, addresses, names,
dates, addresses, people, it's like what
crazy.
They were wearing, like how he fucking killed them. Like, it's just ridiculous.
He remembers tiny details about these killings.
I mean, I guess if you're the one doing it, it's a lot easier to remember every detail of what you did, how you did it, why you did it. Because, I mean, I guess at that point, if you've already put it into your head that you're going to do something like that, and basically just go through with killing someone. Because, I mean, he stalked the victims.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would assume it's a lot easier to kind of remember details like that. But like seriously, dude, this guy was like on fire with his account, like
Yeah.
crazy like details. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, and we didn't want to really get into details, you know, out of respect for his victims.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, we don't. I mean, serial killers are interesting, but we think it's wrong,
Yeah.
and
Obviously.
we're not gonna tell you about the details.
Yeah, we're not here to
details.
glorify any kind
No.
of serial killer tendencies or behaviors. You know what I mean?
If you guys want to know all the details, which you'll find them out in the video
Yeah,
where he's in court.
We'll link a couple of videos here, and
But we're not here to tell you the details because, I mean, we don't condone this shit. But, I mean, it's 10 victims that we know of that he confessed to. But police believe there's more than that.
and there probably is, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
there has to be.
honest with you.
I mean, if it was so easy for him to get... I mean, dude, 1974 to 1991, and then he got caught in 2005? I mean... And you know, in Kansas, you know, in Wichita, and the other town that he lived in, can't remember the name. I mean, how many people? There's so many unsolved murders in those towns.
Yeah,
around those times.
Exactly.
And he said, like, that's all I killed. I'm telling you the truth. I mean, he could be telling the truth. He could be lying. You know.
Perhaps.
And I mean, look at Ted Bundy, how many killings he did. Son of Sam, Dennis Rader. I mean, sorry, not Dennis Rader. Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, all these dudes, like, it took a while for them to get caught. And in all the serial killers, you know, the big ones, Dennis Rader was the only one that could have legit gotten away with it forever.
They had zero fucking clue.
Yep.
Like,
yep. I mean, they had DNA, they had all this shit, but they couldn't link them.
Well, yeah, I mean, because the only way you link people with
DNA
DNA
if you
is
get caught,
criminals.
Yeah. So I mean,
like,
this dude was a stand-up guy in his community that he would have never gotten caught. And I mean, it's good that he got caught, but he legit could have gotten away with it.
Mm-hmm. Straight up, man.
Right now, he'd been enjoying his retirement right now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Or fucking killing more people, which, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's good that he got caught. But, yeah, his daughter came out with she finally spoke out. We'll link the videos of, we'll link the YouTube videos on her. I think it's a 4 or 5 part, you know, little series that she did with, I can't remember what news outlet she did it with, but the sons never spoke out. The wife hasn't spoke out.
I mean,
I don't blame them. I mean, fuck
like,
that. You know, like,
exactly.
just erase that part of your life, which sucks. You know, I mean, for the wife, I mean, that's your husband.
Dude, your husband, basically.
I mean, imagine what the wife went through.
Man.
Knowing
all
that her whole life,
things.
this fucker had a fucking secret life.
Yeah. Like a secret life in a really fucked up way.
It's insane.
Damn.
Yeah. It's just crazy. But yeah. I mean, we just wanted to give you a little rundown on who BTK was. This bind, torture, kill motherfucker. Good thing he got caught. He got himself caught. And I mean, it goes to show that you can't really trust anyone.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this dude, you know, just a star member of society, his community. He was helpful. He would, a religious man, you know what I mean? President of his church, his congregation. And, you know, leading Boy Scouts, whatnot. And fuck, he's out here killing people.
I mean, he did get away with it for a long time. 1974, 2005.
That was crazy to me, dude. Like
shit.
How many years he was like just on the loose, and the cops had like no fucking clue. Like didn't even know where to begin to link all this evidence, because there was a lot of evidence, but no one or nothing to link it to. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, and it was back then too. I mean, it's pretty hard to get away with shit like this now. How good, science, law enforcement has gotten.
Yeah.
Surveillance, fingerprinting, DNA. But I mean, he started in 1974, so I mean, 1974, they weren't really using, they weren't really, I don't even think the national database for, fingerprinting and shit was all that great yet.
Yeah, I mean,
now when you go get your license, they make you, put your fingerprint in. Obviously, I mean, that goes back to all this shit. They want you to put your fingerprint in. Your face is scanned when you take your picture. So, I mean, if you do something on camera or you commit a crime, and your fingerprint's on the database right off the bat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, back then, it was harder. So, he did get away with it for a really long time. But yeah, this dude was just, he wanted to control everything.
Yeah, I mean, he was a control freak.
Dude, I mean, he even named he gave himself the fucking. He gave himself the BTK name.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like, he just wanted to control the narrative at every single turn.
Yep. And he actually went to school. He graduated from college with a criminal justice degree, and they said that he did that just so he could get better at what he was doing. Learn ways on how law enforcement catch
he wanted
people.
to learn forensics. He wanted to just learn, because he was probably trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, he was, and that's how he got caught with the floppy disk. He was trying to tell him I'm still here, and I'm gonna kill again. Can't remember exactly what the floppy disk, but I think some of that was that. Hey, I'm still here. It's been a while, but hey, I'm here. I'm gonna start again. Good thing he didn't get to again, because he got caught.
Yeah.
But we'll link all these videos. As part of his confession, the court hearing, and we'll link also the videos of his daughter speaking out.
Yeah, and guys, let us know what you want in the comments. I know that this is going to be on the podcast too, but for YouTube followers and listeners, if there's any topic that you guys want to hear us talk about, anything that you kind of on the fence about, you haven't found a lot of information on, let us do the work for you. We'll go and do the research, and we'll talk about some stuff for you guys. Yeah. So let us know.
Yeah, and we're now on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube.
Yeah,
Anchor,
podcasts. It's the Ozzy Blade Show. You just go ahead and search it like that, and we got you covered.
And we'll link all this stuff so you guys can actually see what he actually did in all the murders in detail. And hope you guys enjoyed this little segment of BTK, aka Dennis Rader, the bind, torture, kill, murder. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.